Hello guys, how are you? Vladimir Ribakov here, and this is the weekly market review for the week starting on 24 of September 2017. Previous week was very interesting in terms of moves. This week might be even more. We have a lot of fundamental important things, such as the German elections in this Sunday. There is, according to the polls and expectations, there should not be any crazy surprise like there was one in the UK back then. Angela Merkel would most likely continue for another run, but the question would be who will be the other parties in the parliament, and according to the latest polls and numbers, there is a good chance that the right party would be part of the parliament for the first time since the World War. Will that happen or not? We will see on Sunday evening. But such event could definitely be effective, especially on the euro pairs. Besides that, all the sensitivity between the US and North Korea, well, it never was good. It doesn't look good. There are a lot of speculations. Is it at all able to happen, or it's just a game, or all kind of views from professionals, and let's just hope for the normalization of our lives, that things would go normal and will not be exposed to any news and crazy actions from any of the leaders. So a lot of fundamental things we need to pay attention to. Also, we have a speech from Draghi this week on Monday, a speech from Kuroda in Japan. Then we have consumer confidence in the US and speech from Missy Lin. We have the official cash rate in New Zealand, which I would pay attention to. Speech from Governor Paulos in Canada. Speech from Carney, another speech from Kuroda. The GDP in the US is another very important factor, of course. And then we go to the pretty quiet to Friday, where we have current account in the in UK. Another two speeches from Draghi and Carney, and the GDP in Canada. Now, as you can see, very busy fundamental week. And now let's talk about charts. What are the opportunities we should pay attention to? So the first one I would like to start with would be the euro yen, because this pair, let's go back to the regular screen. This pair has some massive cycles on here, and we have this expansion around 161.8. we have this triple cycle going up to there, 1, 2, 3, and we also have this. That's really important zone coming right here. So if we can reach there, I would expect something massive to take place. But since we are already in a very important zone and we do have the divergence, this move can take action anytime. Now, since we are against the weekly, we need two false breaks on the daily or the 4-hour chart, and they both make it here now. And this is the second happening. Okay, so if we go below this low, we might start looking for a sell. Now, because, and here is very important explanation, so pay attention, guys. Because we are, the weekly cycle give us the chance to rally higher, we have to play careful. And by careful, I mean we need to get it below here. By ideal, getting two waves retrace, and that could be on lower time frame, since the daily chart is involved as well. Could be 1-hour chart time frame, and with the breakout, we might be trying the short. Keep the risk low, because it could be fake and a rally, one more rally to take place. Okay, it could happen again because the weekly chart has the levels a bit higher. There are two main factors affecting the euro yen this week: elections in Germany, and of course North Korea, because any geopolitical sensitivity, and we see immediate strength from the yens. So euro yen is definitely interesting one. As per days, I would pay attention to specifically to the, well, we can see 22nd. It was Friday, right? And if it will not stop now in the beginning of the week, it will most likely continue all the way to the beginning of the month, and that would be like 2nd or 4th of the month. So if this bearish scenario doesn't happen and we just continue rallying, we are going higher, and our targets for the buys are 138 zone, basically. So a lot of potential pips. So okay, that's the euro yen. The euro dollar, well, this one is still stuck in a range. As long as it does, we would expect a possible continuation down, retrace down. If we break above, the pair most likely will take us through 123, 124, up to 126 zone, where from I believe this is going to be the top for some massive bearish move. Note that currently Draghi did not do anything. If the euro continues to rally, he will have to take some action. We have a speech from him this week, and that might be effective as well to see what we have. So basically, every 2 waves rally is opportunity to go to sell. We got this opportunity here. We got beautiful breakout, beautiful profit. If we get another 2 waves and a breakout, that will be another sell opportunity. For a serious bearish call, we do need to break below this, simply because that was the last low before the false break we have on the daily chart, and this below this area would give us a very good confirmation for the sells. Next one on the list would be the euro versus the Kiwi, and my view here did not change, and as long as we have 38.2 of this triple cycle reached, now we aim the 50%. And basically my view was going to remain the same while we keep the lows keep the highs going lower, the lows going lower. Every rally is a sell opportunity. Current invalidation for the sell plan is right here. Until where we can expect the moves to happen, as I showed before, the targets, and also from the daily chart we have this as a possible target, and we have this. Okay, all that are definitely possible targets for us. And just want to pay attention to the top here was created on the 7 and 8. We have 7 and 8 as a very, very strong days. Since then, straight move down. And for bottoms we have 20, and 20 was actually here we have 19, sorry. 19 was this very, very powerful day for bottoms, so we get the reversal. And that's again the power of statistics, which we do need to pay attention to them during the week. They can help us a lot with where do we cash and where do we start looking for the cycles to end. Let's continue. The pound dollar was dropping down since the speech of May, who is playing kind of weird role, if you ask me, with all the Brexit thing. Totally not clear, but we reached the 136 of the pound, so basically every drop down is more than welcome, more than acceptable, and I believe from there we should continue higher. We do not have any divergence completed, not weekly, not daily yet. It's just forming. So I would be looking to buy look for possible buys on that zone. We have one here, around 134, and the 4-hour chart. That's 134. Then we have 133 and 132. Basically every round number. I would be looking for possible buy setups to occur there and to happen. It does not mean we blindly buy. It means we are after buy setups on this area. Dollar yen was moving beautifully to the upside, and now, well, honestly, I would cash out the profits and start looking for something else here, or at least trail the stop loss. This would be the current invalidation. With all the North Korea sensitivity, dollar yen is extremely tricky to be called technical pair. As long as this invalidation is on hold, I'm still bullish. But as I said, I would, in such conditions, with all this rally, I would definitely cash out my profits and look for some new opportunities. Let's continue to the next pair. Next pair is the euro versus the pound. Another very interesting pair. For long run, we are looking to sell rallies. We are looking to go to the bottom of the range here. Of course, rallies are welcome. We can accept two waves on the daily chart or 4-hour chart or a range. Currently, we don't have two waves. It looks like a possible range. We might get the two waves here, so it's really early to judge. But let's see, if it's a false break, we might be looking for sales. If it goes in two waves, we would want to sell with the break of the trend line. So rallies are acceptable up to here. And if we cross above that, well, then we can go higher in two waves. It theoretically could take us even back to 0.90 or so. So let's see if the pair would be able at all to break this area. We won't sell rallies. The higher we go, the better it is. We want to aim this all the way down to here. Next one on the list would be the pound versus the yen. Another pair reached the 151 zone we've been talking about, even higher. Now, time for corrections. We don't have classical false breaks formed here. So what we will be looking for is triple wave down, double wave up, and a breakout for correction. 1, 2, 3. We might have 1, 2 breakout, and we will be after sells for a second leg down. How deep this correction could take us to? Taking the cycle from the 4-hour chart, 38.2 could be the first target, of course. Then we have the daily cycle, and if that would be the top, then our next final target of the long term is far away. But if we don't create this triple double and just continue on the rally, the targets for the rallies would be around the 160, which is the 50% of the special cycle of the weekly chart. And I just want to remind you guys, this is what we have: special cycle, a double cycle up more than possible, and from there we will be looking for the next sells. Generally, every push back down, I would be looking for long-term buys. This push down are more than acceptable, especially the way the cycles form, and with the sensitivity from yens again. It's very, very important. We will definitely accept two waves on 4-hour chart or daily chart, and from there we'll be looking for the buys. Let's continue. Aussie dollar is so far moving in this kind of range. Oh, where this came from. And I would not be surprised if we will see this low being retested. While we are below the dropping highs, the new dropping highs we have, rallies should be looking for. So basically break above that and hold above this zone, and the Aussie dollar is most likely, it will take us to 0.84 or so. On the correction down, we'll be looking to the bottom of the range here. Also, there is a trend line. If we connect it this way right here, we can, on the final run, maybe even get it down to the trend line. So as long as we do have these highs, dropping highs holding, we are after sells. As per levels, Aussie dollar has for us this and this. On the 4-hour chart, daily chart are the same. 1-hour chart currently is the same. So pretty strong levels. New Zealand dollar, well, this one is a real beast, and from my point of view, it's too easy that this pair would complete this double and this double cycle magnet up to here, where from we will most likely start looking for the massive sell opportunities. But since we have the cash rate decision this week, I would pay attention to if they suddenly cut, break off this trend line, and we can start looking for massive sells. If they don't cut, or maybe even hint for increasing somewhere in the future, the pair should fly. Euro Kiwi is our next pair on the list. Oh, sorry, we talked about that. Pound Kiwi is the next pair on our list, and this pair also we would like to go long. We need two waves on the daily or the 4-hour chart. Currently we didn't have it. 4-hour chart have first this, second still developing, so neither it holds a bottom here or here. We will be looking after that for the break of the trend lines. As for continuation, and our continuation would be all the way to here. Okay, so technically a lot to go. Again, we have the sensitivity from the Eurozone, we have the sensitivity from North Korea, we have cash rate in New Zealand this week. Too many factors, play safe. Okay, as per levels for Pound Kiwi, we have 183, 182 and 181 levels to watch for the reversals, possible reversals. If we start the creation here, we might be looking to for buy opportunities from these levels. Okay, so let's see how it goes. Next one on the list, Aussie versus the Kiwi, and this one we want to go long. Based on the monthly cycle, we expect a continuation. Every down move for us is a buy. We have currently double cycle forming, bullish hidden divergence forming. We're not going to guess or to bet, we have a trend line. Currently this is the trend line. We need to break above it in order to return to bullish, or at least what we need to see is a false break on the bottoms on the 4-hour chart, higher highs, then two waves of trace and a breakout, and then we return to the long with small risk, bigger profit to 113, 116 zones. It worth it. Only one that surprised big time is the New Zealand and Canadian, which I was looking for sells. I still am. From the weekly cycle, I believe we are going lower, but the correction went more than expected. So I was looking for a range or two waves here. And these two waves turn to be something else completely. The way it behaves right now, this is what's going to happen. And in that case, we are going back to the 092, 093 zone. So I would do it very, very simple here. Currently I'm neutral because my sell plan did not work out, so I will be looking for this, two waves down or a range breakout, and I will be looking again for longs, short-term longs, expecting the target to be the correction target to be of these two, and as per level 092 up to 093 zone. From there I believe we are going to the sells. Dollar CAD also correcting a bit. We have a magnet zone here, action zone, and bank zone, another simple, beautiful, correct word. We are in the corrective cycle. We must break the trend line in order to break and hold below in order to return to the bearish view. As long as it didn't happen, no reason to go for sells. Okay, so if we manage to break that, I would expect a continuation down move. And remember, we have the 116, 115 level from the weekly cycles, which could be target. And that in such cases, our risk reward is a monster. Okay. As per days, dollar CAD has a 23, 25, 28 very possible days for tops, which means it might happen this week. We have the action zone, we have the tunnel, we have the 4-hour chart level. So let's see if we can get some setups here for this beautiful sell to continue. CAD yen is a monster as well. Technically could take us to 94 zone, but it has already all the reasons to be blocked. Daily cycle as well. 4-hour chart, we have the false breaks. We need 1, 2, 3 or a convergence below here, and if it managed to do that, like give us the convergence, I'll be looking for 2 waves rally, breakout, and we can start looking for sales. As long as it didn't happen, it can turn around and take us to the 94, 95 zone, which would be the 61.8 of this cycle here. Okay, so we are still looking for the clear setup here. Euro franc is another pair I would pay attention to. After crossing the 116 to the upside, the levels become very, very important. We don't have any falls back on the 4-hour chart, but since daily cycle is in play, we can work with the 1-hour chart as well. And we can see that this pair is trying to create for us some kind of triple cycle. Below this low would be good. 2 waves up and breakout. If that happens, we can start looking for the sells for Euro franc and aiming for 2 targets. One of them would be here, 50% of the triple cycle from the 4-hour chart. And then we have the 38.2, which is right here around the 114, slightly lower, and also open gap around the 113.60. So Euro franc starts to be very, very interesting. As long as we don't have the convergence and triple move down and 2 waves up retrace with a breakout, we don't have a reason for sell. And in that case, the pair might continue to 117, 118 zone pretty easy. Okay, now there are a lot of pairs to trade like pound cat, pound Aussie, but they are not there yet for classical clear trend line, so I avoid them on this weekly view, but we will talk about them for sure on the Traders Academy Club. And that's all. Okay, let's continue, guys. My next one on the list with updates is the gold and the silver. They both followed our plan. They paid very, very beautifully. The question is what's going to happen next. I would be careful here now, and I would explain why. We have a triple cycle now, which means if we are infected by 2 waves retrace, a breakout could lead one more leg down. So in other simple words, every move down we have, I would consider to go buy for long term, but I suspect that versus this top we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and a breakout for another push. So technically gold could, on the move down, could take us to the 50% of this and 38% of this, which would be 1270 approximately. Same with silver, which is following beautifully, correcting well. Bullish hidden divergence is forming, bullish divergence here is forming. Only problem is that we have triple down. We might have double up, breakout, and then one more leg down before the flight. For long term, we are only after buys. Short term it's kind of tricky, as you can see. What we do have to do here is to cash out ourselves. We have been selling for the last couple of weeks here. Sellish mode is off at this stage. And the next one would be the Nasdaq and the S&P, of course. The sensitivity there continues to affect. We have 2 false breaks. We must go below this low here, so we need to go below this low, and then we'll be looking to sell rallies. The alternative would be always triple cycle down, double cycle correction, and breakout for sell. S&P, same story, 2 false breaks. We must go below this low here in order to get the sell confirmation and the sell okay. Okay, and the next one, which I would start definitely to pay attention to, that would be the where is that? The German DAX, which is very interesting with the elections. We do start to have a slowdown. If we go below the last lows, we should be looking for possible sell rallies, breakouts. Okay, so lower lows, 2 waves retrace, breakout down, and we are after sells. If that doesn't happen, we continue higher. Let it go, because it will change the weekly cycle for us. for possible new highs. So as for now, we're not in a rush, but we definitely pay attention to this one. Let me make sure I did not miss anything interesting here. No, it seems no. I covered all my interesting pairs on the list. Yep. There are a few more interesting opportunities for me, but as I said, it's not like we have something specific to go over and cover. That's the best opportunities I could find this week. OZN is actually another one. This one is also interesting. We do need two false breaks. We have also lower lows here, right? So this pair is under a sell mode as long as this top holds, and we expect two waves to the downside. So it's really interesting one to follow. As per targets, we have this, this, and this. Top was created on 21st, on 2021st it was creating the top. 20 is the beautiful top called for us by statistics. So guys, the statistical numbers are extremely important. They help us to understand where there is a great potential for buys or for sells. And we got this statistical top, and what we got here, believe it or not, was a beautiful sell from the Scorpio code right there on the top. Was a great combo of 4-hour chart and 1-hour chart. They both signaled on the same place, and we got a beautiful run from there. So let's see if we can continue to get even more of this. So guys, that's all for this week. I will see you in the Traders Academy Club. If you are not yet a member of the Traders Academy Club, I invite you to take part. Below my video, you will be able to see the link of the invitation, tradersacademyclub.com. This club is for you. We trade together there. We go over live rooms. We set up the weekly setups. We put all the things together, all the directions, all the follow-ups, all the instructions with all the validations and invalidations. And we teach there live on daily basis how to use my trading systems. If it's the SRS, Triple B, Libra code, divergence principles, and soon the Scorpio would be inside, of course. Everything is transparent and 100% clear for you, so you can come, learn, and make profits. So if you're not yet a part of the Traders Academy Club, I invite you to, I'm sure you will enjoy, and I'm very, very, very sure that you would find it very useful for your trading life. Well, thank you very much for your time watching this video, and I wish you a wonderful trading week. Fantastic opportunities from Mr. Market. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the time you dedicated for that, and I wish you only the best. If you enjoyed, just don't forget to click this button, the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave some positive feedback. Your feedback, my motivation to keep creating these videos for you guys. So once again, thank you for your time. I wish you best, and I'll see you on the daily live rooms in the Traders Academy Club. Bye for now.